Tomatoes are delicious, versatile, and perfect for adding flavor to countless dishes, but they also spoil quickly, leading to waste of money. However, there's a special way to preserve your entire tomato bounty that's incredibly fast, unbelievably easy, and locks in that amazing garden-fresh flavor for months to come. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how. We're taking tomatoes to the freezer, but not the soggy, flavorless kind you might be used to. I'll show you the best freezing methods to keep them tasting garden-fresh all year round. In my previous video, I shared how to keep tomatoes fresh on your counter for months, without them turning mushy or moldy. I covered Roma, cherry, and heirloom tomatoes, and trust me, the tips work every single time. I'll be putting the link in the description. If you missed it, you'll definitely want to go back and watch, because once you know these tricks, you'll never waste a tomato again. Now, let's begin. But first, let's talk about picking your tomatoes. You're looking for firm, ripe ones. It doesn't matter if they're big beefsteaks, classic Romas, or even cherry tomatoes. This works for all of them. Just toss out any that are clearly spoiled or have big, mushy spots. Next, wash your tomatoes with baking soda and water. Baking soda, when mixed with water, creates a slightly alkaline solution. This alkaline solution helps lift and wash away the pesticide residues from the surface of fruits and vegetables. After washing, thoroughly dry the tomatoes with a clean towel. This step is very important because any extra water on the outside of the tomato turns into ice crystals, and those crystals can cause freezer burn. Where are you watching me from? Let's connect from around the world. Comment your city or country in the comments. And we've made subtitles in different languages, so you can watch this video in the language that you are most comfortable with. And if you don't see your language, please notify us in the comments section, and we'll be sure to include that. Your tomatoes are washed and dried and are ready for the freezer. Now, the only prep work you have to do is to core them. You seriously have to do this. It makes it easier to use the tomatoes after they are frozen. Just take a small knife and cut out that little tough, stemmy part at the top. And that's it. You don't have to peel them. Anyone who tells you to spend an hour peeling tomatoes before you freeze them is making you work way too hard. We're going to let the freezer do that part for us. Grab a freezer-safe bag and place your whole tomatoes in them. Now for the most important part, getting the air out of the bag. Too much air exposure can lead to freezer burn, that awful icy layer that ruins the flavor and texture of your food. If you have a vacuum sealer, now is its time to shine. But if you don't, you can use the straw trick. Seal the bag almost all the way shut, stick a straw in the opening, and suck out all the air until the bag shrinks up tight around the tomatoes. Then, quick, pull the straw and finish the seal. Remember to label the bag with the date so you're able to track. Tomatoes stored this way will be fantastic for up to a year, though for the absolute best flavor, try to use them within 6 to 8 months. When you're ready to make sauce or soup, you might be wondering how to deal with these frozen skin-on tomatoes. Let me show you. Grab a frozen tomato. You can let it sit on the counter for about 30 minutes, or if you're in a rush, just run it under some warm water. The skin, which was stuck on tight when the tomato was fresh, literally just slips right off in your hands. No boiling water, no ice baths, no burnt fingers. The freezer did all the hard work for you. The science is pretty simple. Tomatoes are mostly water. When you freeze them, that water expands into ice crystals, which breaks down the tomato's cell structure. This not only makes them soft, but also releases the skin's grip. If you're enjoying this video and will love to see more helpful tips like this, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss anything I upload. And also hit the like button. It's a free way of supporting us. I know you will enjoy being here with all the helpful tips I will be uploading. While freezing the tomatoes whole is my default, sometimes having pre-cut tomatoes is a massive time saver, especially if you know they're destined for casseroles or chili. The prep is the same: wash, dry, and core. Then, just slice or dice them to whatever size you like. Spread them in a single layer on a parchment-lined baking sheet and flash freeze them until they're solid. This step is critical because smaller, wetter pieces will absolutely glue themselves together and may be difficult to break them apart when frozen. After an hour or two, once the pieces are frozen solid, transfer them to a labeled freezer bag. Squeeze out the air, seal it tight, and you've got perfectly portioned, ready-to-use tomatoes you can just toss right into the pan. The third method gives an even bigger head start on future meals: freezing a simple stewed tomato base. It takes a bit more work up front, but gives you a product that's just a few steps away from a finished sauce. For this, you'll wash, core, and roughly chop your tomatoes. Toss them in a pan and cook them over medium heat for 10 to 20 minutes, just until they soften and start to release their juices. You're not making a full sauce yet, just giving them a gentle cook down. Now for a crucial safety step. You have to cool the cooked tomatoes completely before you freeze them. Putting a hot food in your freezer will raise the overall temperature, which can cause other foods to partially thaw and refreeze, which is not good. Once cool, ladle the stewed tomatoes into your freezer containers. You can use plastic tubs, freezer bags, or straight-sided glass mason jars. If you're using a rigid container, you must leave about an inch of headspace at the top. The liquid will expand as it freezes, and without that extra room, it could crack your container. Seal and freeze. You now have a fantastic base for countless winter meals. So there you have it. My 3 favorite ways to freeze tomatoes, from the ridiculously fast to the super prepared. You never have to be intimidated by a mountain of ripe tomatoes again. Whether you freeze them whole, sliced, or stewed, You now have the power to easily lock away that vibrant, fresh from the garden flavor. Now I want to hear from you. What's your go-to method? Drop a comment below and tell me how you preserve your tomato harvest. Do you freeze them a different way? I read all the comments, and I love learning from this community. And if this video helped you conquer your tomato overload, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We're always sharing practical tips to help you make the most of your home and garden. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.